Welcome, respected sadhakas, salutations, gratitudes, greetings, congratulations, submissions, and prayers. The 13 Vyaktitvas, Loka Sevaka, Dharma Sthapaka Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Mumukshu, Jignasu, Shrota, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Prashanta, Gambhira, Bhasha, Gnata, Parabrahma, Ishvara, Jagannatha, Devata-gana, Guru-gana, Shastra-gana are there to help us. So the rich helps are there around and very big tasks are there to achieve. Engage in them by which we save ourselves from ourselves, we save ourselves from the world. More beautifully is we save the world from us only. Try to build these personality layers with one's own effort with the help of all these most kind, helpful agents. Shwethashwathara Upanishad, we are studying Prathamodhyaya. Every mantra is very contemplative, deep. That is why Bhagwan Shankara himself is giving us detailed Bhashyam. The Sambandha Bhashya itself was so exhaustive to guide us in so many very important aspects of the Advaita Vedanta Jnanam Siddhanta Sadhana. Now, in this first chapter, all mantras beautiful. The Brahmavadins searching for the Karana outside, inside, they found that Devatma Shakti. Then they found that Karana Brahma with that beautiful comparison with the chakra as well as the Nadi that Brahman is explained to us. Then the Bandha Moksha of the Jiva are explained. In the discussion of it, now in the latest seventh mantra, that Brahman Karya Karana Atita very much is intact in his own pristine form, untouched by the Karana Brahmatva on him only because of Maya, Karya Brahmatva because of the Maya expanded and through that he alone is expressing. Yet he is as he is for us to recognize anytime, any day. That very, very important topic which clears the doubt once for all about the presence and availability of the truth substratum. Then again, there are some more questions asked. To answer them are the next line or the word of the shloka 7. We'll be studying that today. Yesterday, day before, we saw a very sweet topic of so many Upanishads, etc., are quoted to tell about the presence of Nirguna Brahma and realization of that Nirguna Brahma to be the Hetu for the moksha. This is the beauty of studying this particular Upanishad. Above all, that without any inhibition, hesitation, wherever it is required and possible, Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavan, Bhashyakara, brings the quotations from all the Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas, and everything. He doesn't hesitate. He will quote Yoga Vasishta today, we'll see, or tomorrow. He will quote the Yajnavalkya Smriti, that we will see. He will quote the Agastya Muni's writings. He will quote Mahabharata. He will quote Gita, Upanishads. वो तो anyway है ही. By this, one side the prajna of Bhagwan Adi Shankara we come to know. Second side, the vastness of our Sanatana Dharma Shastras we come to know. Third and most important is all of them have Ekavakyata. They all are given by different Rishi Muni Guru to different disciples at different periods of time, but all of them are aiming at giving the guidance for all the sadhakas for the sadhya, the mukti prapti. So we will continue studying it. Before that, our Sankalpa Prarthana, before that, like every day, a very slight some thought, maybe the essence of what we studied so far, or something useful for our Vyavahara. Today's common sense thought is more of spiritual type only. Key just to see the world is there outside, how important it is, how realistic it is, how attracting it is, and how we are deluded really to give that importance, get that attracted, and then involve in it, fully deluded. We have to pause and think. As we started 2 days back, the evening class in Yoga Vasishta Maharamayana, the Vichara Mahima, the glory and necessity of Vichara, the inquiry, the contemplation. See, as it is said to us in many texts like Drugdrishya Viveka Adi, if you see how much ever beautiful, glorious the world may be, with all its glitters of the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha, can they be perceived without our sense organs? One question we have to ask. Answer is no. But can the sense organs be there without perceiving them? Yes. Here is where the Vedantic maturity is tested. Therefore, which is real, which is more important? This question, if we can answer correctly, we are maturing. Our intellects are becoming unbiased and pure to grasp the truth. The truth is, the sense organs are more powerful, more valid, more real, more important than the Shabda Sparsha or Rasagandha. This is a fact. We have to realize that fact. The consequence is our senses are no more slave to the outer things. Whenever we are free from the slavery, that heaviness and burden of the dukkha goes away. This is called breaking those shackles of delusion, moha. Very simple it is, and we have to achieve it. Thought is simple, understanding it and practicing it takes some extra effort, energy, sacrifice. One by one organ you take. How many beautiful colors forms. But can they be existing without my eyes? No. Our eyes are important, not them. This we have to realize. Consequently, Rupana, Shabdaka, sorry, all the forms and the colors, we should no more be slave. That realization we have to have, the decision we have to have. They depend on me, not I depend on them. I here is my organs, sense organs. On them they depend. There is no validity, no value to them. Nobody will certify their existence. Therefore, they are as good as not existing only. Right? Come this way to the senses level. Then come to the mind level. Are these sense organs able to function without the mind behind? We have to ask the question about it. The answer is no. Therefore, which is important among these two, the senses or the mind? We have to know. The senses cannot be functioning without mind. But mind is there without senses, like in dream. There are no sense organs in dream. But mind is projecting his own world. So more dear, more near, more precious, more real, more me is the mind than the sense organs. So this way, giving value to the mind and its protection and not allowing it to be sold out to senses through the senses to the outer world is called spiritual U-turn. To that extent, both from the world of Shabdasparsh Ityadi, from the world of Jnanendriyas, we are free. Actually, pehle hi, when we say the sense organs are the ones on which the objects depend, therefore we reject the objects, come to the sense organs level. Sense organs without objects, they are also no value. It's an understanding. That means what both of them are depending on something third factor, that is the mind. Without the mind, neither senses are there nor the outer world is there. Therefore, live at the level of mind more, give the value to the mind more. This with matured understanding that way, when we devalue, then we are no more slave. Like you value too much your children or your grandchildren, you are slave to them, bus. They'll sit on your head. You just devalue those fellows, they are born to me and all. How can I be on them? थोड़ा अकड़ के दिखाओ कूसा फिर बिल्ली बन जाएंगे शेर बन रहे थे as simple as that anybody it is if you become billy they become share if you become share they become billy senses become billy the objects become share make the senses share objects billy बन जाए mind is a cat when the sense organs are the lions make the mind lion sense organs become the cats only this we have to achieve. This is called spirituality. It's a fact, but we have to realize it in the understanding, in the practice. After practice is done for maybe few years, decades, now the question is asked. Tell me, in your life, the objects are prominent or the senses? Ruthlessly we say, no more objects, only senses. I guard my senses, value them more than the objects. I'll give up the objects and protect my senses. Again, tell me which is precious in your life, are your sense organs or the mind? I no doubt mind is important. I protect, guard my mind. For that, if I have to pay the cost and price of devaluing senses, I do that. See, this is called growing, spiritual growth. First, it should be theoretical understanding. Second, through practice and experience. It's an experience. No more the outer world and the senses are enslaving me or burdening me. This achievement is sadhana. ये संभव है संभव करना है संभव है नहीं जानना नहीं करना therefore becoming slave to them is delusion and samsara. Not knowing the possibility and not accepting it, not trying is called delusion. Because of it, the conclusion is consequence is we are slave to them, therefore we are in samsara. Actual aspect happening is samsara, the cause of it is delusion. Delusion is removed by the knowledge. Samsara is removed by the practice. The knowledge is senses are important, not the objects. The knowledge is mind is important, not the senses. Now, is the mind also independent? No. It has something behind it for it to get operated. And that is I, the real me. I am important. The mind cannot be without me, but I can be without mind like in sleep. So who is important? I am important, not that mind. Mind means mana buddhi chitta ankara. सारो हमने एक में डाल दिया अंतःकरण. The antakarana is a slave to me. It is working because of my presence. It has to report to me, isn't it? Not that I am slave to them. Right now, this possibility is not realized. Therefore, I am sold out to my antakarana. वो नचा रही है मैं नाच रहा हूँ. This is called samsara, is ignorance, this is slavery, this is delusion. Realize it. Ki, I am the Swami, I am the Tommy, not that they are Swami and Tommy. This intellectual apprehension we have to have. They don't allow us. The Antakarana doesn't allow us to go to satsang, to listen the Vedanta, and to understand that the self is important than these Antakarana. और जाने नहीं देता. Like generally the wife, don't go to satsang, don't go to satsang. She says, why? Because having gone to satsang, if he gets vairagya, then he will leave me. She'll have a fear, but she never knows that he never understands. He comes to sleep in the class, Bechari, she doesn't know. And that day, when she realized after 5 years, she saw us coming to the class every day. He has not changed anything. Chal jane de. She will not bother at all. चलो जितना सत्संग जाना है जाओ, बाबा लोग जरूर सुधरेंगे. So she permits us because she knows we don't sudhro. In the same way, here also, these faculties do not allow us to go to satsang, etc., study tattva, because they know if somebody by mistake understands tattva, he starts giving importance to the self and not to us. देख लो, isn't it? Then what to do? The trick and magic is what? You can make wife very happy by coming to the classes, learning from here, give her more love. And give her more importance. You say, Swami said everybody is Bhagavan. Till yesterday I thought you to be like this. You are also Bhagavati for me. Chalo मैं तुम्हारा आरती उतारूंगी. She'll be happy. She'll become my devotee. More than you. In the same way, same faculties of Manabuddhi Chittankara can be educated. They are raw and rustic and misguided. Therefore, they feel bad. But if you tell them, oh my dear, you all are divinized, you'll be definitely kept aside when I am in the self. But when I come to Vivahara, I will use you only. And together, both of us, I and you, we can really do better works, good works. Nowadays, when we are living life like this because of you, not only people blame me, even though they blame me directly, that indirect blame is to you also. If they blame me, this person is like this, what do they mean? This person's mind is like this person's intellect is like this. So, mind and intellect, they are blaming you, insulting you only. So, instead of that, when we together do good work to the world, they appreciate me. What do they mean by they appreciate me? This person is good means what? His mind is good, his intellect is good. Oh, my dear mind, intellect, one way you are learned to live, don't think that is the only way, and that is not noble also. There is another way, more noble and more beautiful way. Why don't you understand it? The poor mind, intellect, they understand. That is how the Mahatmas use the same faculties of mind, intellect, etc. to serve the world and to bring fulfillment to that antakarana. I'm just in an anecdote form, a story form, pictorially we try to say so. Correct? Mind and antakarana also is not so important. The self is important. Now, who is that self? Is our coach. Isn't it? Spirituality is coaching that self. That called as tat pada parimarganam, seeking the self. Spirituality means seeking the self, isn't it? Now the contradiction हमको वही समझना है. Self cannot be an object to be sought. Therefore, the self is a subject to be realized, subject to be abided in it. This has to click to us. It's not object, no? Object is always not self. That is why the whole sadhana is not what? The goal is to realize and abide in the self. Therefore, the sadhana is to get detached, dissociated from the total not self. Therefore, the entire Vedantic sadhana, spiritual sadhana is totally disconnected from the not self so that we are absolutely in the self. That is an experience. Just like somebody asks, who are you? How quickly we say, I'm Mr. So and so. Then I'm rich or poor. Or we say, I'm educated and I'm doctor, lawyer, engineer. Immediately we answer, I'm citizen of India, I'm Hindu. इतना स्पॉन्टली हम आंसर देते हैं because throughout life we are carrying that only. And that day when we say, when somebody asks, who are you? It within us, I am that Brahman which is upstream of everything. That means our study of scriptures, our sadhana, and our full siddhi has reached the final stage. They're all fulfilled. I am Brahman. That Anubhuti Yukta Uttara. Uttara is the answer to the questioner. Okay? We don't answer to him as I am Brahman because they'll take as ego and all. ये सब लोग बुद्धू होते हैं, they only try to misinterpret. But just telling, if somebody asks, you and I are the same Brahman. Like when Hiranyakashipu asked, what is the strength in you because of which you are disobeying me? I am such a powerful one. What is the answer Prahlada gave? Not only in me, but in everybody, the cause of the strength is one Narayana, and he alone is the cause of strength in you also. That fellow was not arguing with father. He was not sentimental about. He is not intellectual at all. He cannot do, he is not such a disobedient fellow. Nahi hai wo. But he is telling his experience. Because that's what he has realized. The father thought he is arrogant, he is answering me. Therefore, let me punish him, let me kill him. But the child is telling experience. On the basis of this Prahlada story only, Sri Adi Shankar Bhagavan, in his Bhaja Govindam, wrote that particular shloka. It is as if addressed by Prahlada to his father Hiranyakashipu. त्वयि मयि चान्यत्रैको विष्णुः व्यर्थं कुप्यसि मय्यसहिष्णुः भवसमचित्तः सर्वत्र त्वं वाञ्छस्य चिराद् यदि विष्णु त्वं. See, त्वयि मयि च अन्यत्र एको विष्णु. In you and in me and everywhere, it is Vishnu only substratum. Therefore, any strength of any faculties have to come. It has to come from him only. Vyartam kopyasi mai. You are honestly become angry with my father. Asahishnuhu. You are not able to stand to my experience of the truth. Bhava samajitta sarvatratvam. Maintain your samatha everywhere. Vanchasa achira yadu vishnutvam. You are taking him as enemy now, the Vishnu, but you yourself become Vishnu. If you become samachitta and properly think. क्षमा करके विचार करोगे पप्पा पप्पा you will also know that one Vishnu alone is there. Very beautiful shloka of Bhaja Govindam and Prahlada story. He is helpless. He want to say what father says, but that is not his experience. I can't deny my experience, whatever you say, isn't it? So, therefore, what is spirituality is abiding in the self by rejecting not self. That's why the four sadhanas, four yogas, each one of them thoroughly to be understood and done. Karma yoga, the entire outer world of things and beings are managed so that they are no more obstacle in the pursuit of my inner self. Very clear, there should be no ambiguity in this regard. Then comes the Ashtanga Yoga, wherein our own chitta itself is no more an obstruction or liability. Because वृत्तियों का निरोध कर दिया by removing the samskaras. Otherwise, these vrittis will come so much powerfully, they force us to get abided. Has to be free. We have to be free from it, like an intelligent man. He just gives responsibilities, all the workers, our wife, our children. So he is free. He is enjoying his free life. The Buddha is what? He gets caught up in kutta. कुत्ते के साथ आधा घंटा भागेगा, पोते के साथ 1 घंटा खेलेगा, दम घुट घुट के अस्थमा से बैठेगा. What are nonsense you are doing? They are there to manage it. Why are you worried? An intelligent man knows the art of relaxation. He doesn't get excited or tense about the trivials of the life. Meaningless, okay. Once in a while, okay, but you can't be. Same way, a wise person through the Ashtanga Yoga remove the samskaras, therefore, chitta vrittis are no more enslaving. So, outer world by Karma Yoga, inner world by the Chitta Ashtanga Yoga, Yavaniyama. Now, the Bhakti Yoga, by which we are tuned more and more to the divinity, the divine presence, divine upasana is managing the whole world and including me, all varieties of Bhakti sadhana. When they are truly done without any palapeksha, same Bhagavan comes as Guru. Then we are taken into the Jnana Marga sadhana, where the Upanishad teaching with Bhashyam and Tattva Chintana, Atma Chintana, That alone is the job of the life now. In between, kabhi kabhi upasana hum kar rahe. Other than that, the antakarana, with its slavery, all is quite ended. The outer world, we are no more interested in. Not that we hate or anything. I want nothing and I am not there for the world. Ho chuka hai bas. In this way, through Jnana Yoga, Siddhanta Jnana, we gain about the Atma Tattva, then all the time, Nirantara Dhyanam about the Atman. Like yesterday, how clearly it was told. 2 days we studied. Avicharaha, Atmana Vicharaha Kartavyaha, Karanajnena, Anisham, Karyaha. Atma Vicharana Karyaha, Karanajnena, Anisham. है ना शास्त्रावबोधया अमलया पूतया बुद्ध्या and when that is done the dhihi slowly becomes purified and realizes the self in the next life set. Therefore for the samsara named maharoga, the vichara is the aushadha. Which vichara? Atma vichara, based on what? The shastras, taught by whom? The guru. See the spashtata of Sri Vasishtaji's guidance in Yoga Vasishta. How beautiful it is. This is how we have to have the clear understanding and picture. Take the responsibility of our own lives, moksha, into our own hands. Then keep on understanding and doing this way. Never should be any doubt what I have to do, what I have to achieve. And don't get misguided by others. They guide us, but they guide us to the worldliness, but they themselves don't know this. You know it, or anywhere doubts come, you ask that Guru only, who is Atma Chintaka, Tattva Chintaka, Shastra Chintaka, and Atma Anubhuta. He will guide, okay, this place you are caught up, just this is a problem, just sort it out, you further move. How can your own other people of the world still are our guides? What do they know about the whole life? They only tell you, चल घूमने जाते हैं, चलिए भोग करते. They are absolutely raw. Pashu samana only. No study of Shastra, none of the truth known. Then how do we ask them ki how I have to spend my time or where to go together? Or when they tell us, should we not have our common sense? What is our goal? Should we not have the guts to tell them enough of it? That day the Lord will be very happy. अरे ये मेरे वास्ते उनको मना कर दिया. पहली बार भगवान starts dancing. Till that time he was miserable. That me who gave everything to this fellow. एवरी टाइम वो मेरे को दाव पे लगाकर पूरे दुनिया में भटक रहा है. इन एवरी भटकवा ऑफ दुनिया वी आर इंसल्टिंग एंड मेकिंग द लॉर्ड मिजरेबल. Wherever we have kept the Lord away and went to the world, we have insulted the Lord. Whenever we have kept away our Shastra, then our Satsanga, involved in the world, we are insulting our Guru and Shastra. Yes, उसका फिर consequence भी होता है. Once we have come into spirituality, how can there be anything more sacred than the Shastra, Sadguru, and Paramatma? Till the goal is reached. If that clarity is not there, means we are immature. We are not पक्के हुए अभी. हमारे अहम और बुद्धि में पक्के नहीं है. The buddhi has not understood. The aham is not surrendered to the understood buddhi. What is ruling our life is still our mind, our senses. And the aham is surrendered to them. Very clear picture. For me, what is sacred? Myself. For that, my Lord, my Guru, my Shastra. How clear it is, how simple it is, how unambiguous it is. We are not hating anyone. At the same time, we are not attached also. We know their limits. We know our needs. Our real inner needs. That way, person who keeps on becoming serious, sincere about his spiritual evolution thinks, understands, and behaves, of course, without harming anyone outside, without insulting anyone outside, without making anyone even little feel pinch also. Without, like some people, some house. सुबह उठे 4 बजे अपना नहा लिए 4:15 साढ़े से 5-6 बजे तक अपने ध्यान में बैठे, did their sadhana without troubling anyone. That's the wisdom. The other fellow himself gets out 6:37, and that time you want to sit for puja, but that is a starting of the work at house. The wife will be in the working kitchen, children are, he will shout at them, अभी मैं ध्यान में बैठ रहा हूँ, तुम मुझे डिस्टर्ब करते हो. अरे, they are doing their work, they are not disturbing you. You are already disturbed. They are not required. You should find intelligently a time where you don't disturb them. सुबह उठ के हाँ ध्यान कर लो, ताकि उनको भी डिस्टर्ब नहीं है. We disturb them and they say, we say that they are disturbing me. As if your realization makes any farak to the world. विचित्र होते हैं. In the same way, without troubling anyone, क्यूटली नेगोशिएट करके सबको प्रणाम, सबको नमस्कार बाहर, बट अंदर हमने अपना लक्ष्य को पकड़ लिया, साधना को पकड़ लिया. एंड द वेरी स्वीट हार्ट ऑफ art of ART, of denying, isn't it? That we do with the gurus and महात्मास. महाराज जी आप इतने महान हो, बहुत बढ़िया है, हम आपको बुलाना चाहते हैं, एक काम करिए 10 जन्म के बाद आ जाना. How lovingly, cutely we say. So we know the art of how to deny very sweetly. Let us do that with the world. Inside. Outside जो minimum है करना है. Otherwise, nobody's negative thoughts should trouble us. इसलिए minimum people in our life, and to with them, maximum that is to be done we do what we have to do from our side. Thereafter, total withdrawal. So that we save ourselves for the sadhana. जिनको साधना लक्ष्य नहीं है, ये सब invalid. Only for those who are having adhyatmic sadhana lakshya, for them these are really important. So we have seen how world, senses, mind and the self, and how these 4 yogas help us. Therefore, how we have to thoroughly master all those 4 yoga jnanams intellectually, and then using each one of them, doing each one of them, how we have to go near to ourselves. These are the few things we try to open up today. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ओम शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ओम गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां नहि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ओम ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्. एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. परं ब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तं ब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शान्त्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु सर्वेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापना उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवादीनां तपस्यादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रु शाश्वतसमूलनिर्मूलनं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः शाश्वतरूपेण सम्प्रतिष्ठा विश्वे मोक्षधर्मपुरुषार्थप्रचारार्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कलितसत्कर्मसुदिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवत देवता गुरु शास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा देश धर्म सनातन धर्म माता पितृभक्ति द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आदिशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं 6th to 10th मंत्र। फर्स्ट चैप्टर। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। ओम सर्वा जीवे सर्वसंस्थे बृहन्ते अस्मिन् हंसो भ्राम्यते ब्रह्मचक्रे पृथगात्मानं प्रेरितारञ्च मत्वा जुष्टस्ततस्तेनामृतत्ववेति उद्गीतमेतत् परमं तु ब्रह्म तस्मिन् स्त्रयं सुप्रतिष्ठाक्षरं च अत्रान्तरं ब्रह्मविदो विदित्वा लीना ब्रह्मणि तत्पराः योनिमुक्ताः संयुक्तमेतत्क्षरमक्षरं च व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भरते विश्वमेशः अनीशश्चात्मा बध्यते भोक्तृभावात् ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः ज्ञाग्न्यौ द्वावजावीशनीशौ अजाहीका भोक्तृभोग्यार्थयुक्ता अनन्तश्चात्मा विश्वरूपो ह्यकर्ता त्रयं यदा विन्दते ब्रह्ममेततो क्षरं प्रधानममृताक्षरं हरः क्षरात्मानावीशते देव एकः तस्याभिध्यानाद् योजनात् तत्त्वभावाद् भूयश्चान्ते विश्वमाया निवृत्तिः। Same thing we chanted yesterday also. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सवीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। अथ सप्तमो मन्त्रः। चैंट 7th mantra 2 times. ओम उद्गीतमेतत् परमं तु ब्रह्म तस्मिन् स्त्रयं सुप्रतिष्ठाक्षरं च अत्रान्तरं ब्रह्मविदो विदित्वा लीना ब्रह्मणि तत्परा योनिमुक्ताः उद्गीतमेतत् परमं तु ब्रह्म तस्मिन् स्त्रयं सुप्रतिष्ठाक्षरं च अत्रान्तरं ब्रह्मविदो विदित्वा लीना ब्रह्मणि तत्पराः योनिमुक्ताः उद्गीतमेतत् परमं तु ब्रह्म अत्रान्तरं नहीं परमं तु ब्रह्म अस्मिन् तस्मिन् स्त्रयं सुप्रतिष्ठाक्षरं च अत्रान्तरं ब्रह्मविदो विदित्वा लीना ब्रह्मणि बट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज तत्पराः योनिमुक्ताः भवन्ति। तो फर्स्ट लाइन thoroughly studied. Paramam tu Brahma, Supreme Brahman is very much is there. Udgitam, about him, so many places in so many Upanishads it is said. And we have put it in front of you, many of the quotations. So, first thing is that Parabrahman is Udhrutya Geetam Upadishtam. It is separated from the Karya Karana Brahma to be independent of it, untouched by them, and that Brahman alone is given as an Upadesha to all the disciples by the Gurus. Second, that alone is told as substratum. Third, that alone is to be obtained for moksha, that is said. Fourth, entire sadhanas wherever the Shishyas are told to be done, all of them are aimed at that only. Therefore, Brahman is very much there. And the principle is, जिनका उपासना करते हो आप वो बन जाते हो, is applicable here also. If you do the Karya Brahma Upasana, you get the Karya Brahma. If you do the Karana Brahma Upasana, you get the Karana Brahma. If you do the Nirguna Brahma Upasana, you get the Nirguna Brahma. Here Nirguna Brahma Upasana is the internal meditation to avoid in the self. What is Upasana? But Sadhana is different. So that is what here concludingly said. Udgitattvena brahmana utkrishtatatvat. Then tam yatha yatha upasate iti nyayena. This nyaya, the logic you only gave. Oh my dear Purabhakshi. What did you say? Tam yatha yatha upasate tadeva bhavati. Everywhere it is there, no? Whatever thought, vicharana we do, we become that. So Karana Brahma, Karya Brahma, Upasana you do, you become that. Now here we reading Nirguna Brahma. Therefore, tam yatha yatha upasate iti nyayena. Listen the next concluding sentence of the Bhashya of the Bhashyakara to the first line. Therefore, what is it? Tasmat, therefore, iti nyayena Utkrishta Brahmana Upasanatu. Listen carefully. Utkrishta Brahmana Upasanatu Utkristameva Phalam Mokshakhyam Bhavati eva iti abhipraya. See the clarity? Utkrishta Brahmana Upasanat. When you do the upasana of the Utkrishta, that Nirguna Brahma, Sachidananda Brahma, then Utkristameva Phalam. Ultimate alone is a phala will come. And what is the ultimate phala? Not dharma, not artha, and not kama. It is moksha only. Therefore, moksha. Therefore, mokshakyam utkrishtam phalam. Okay? Bhavati eva iti abhipraya. Bhavati eva means zarur milega. So here you can see the tone and tune of the Adi Shankara type of Mahatmas Brahmagyanis. When the Purvapakshis raise a funny question, they answer it. But what is the conclusion? They strongly tell them. The three strongly things told are now Nirguna Brahma is very much is there and very much praised. Second, one can do the upasana of him internally. Third, when he is achieved, moksha will definitely come. And fourth one is only in this process of through the Utkrishta Brahma Upasana, realizing the Utkrishta Brahman alone is moksha possible by not in any other way which you are thinking or living or doing or talking. Hasn't it? कभी कभी आपको जो बात पक्का पता है और जो दूसरा बंदा कह रहा है वो गलत है ये भी आपको पता है. Then when that fellow says ये करेंगे इधर, you said no, that's not correct, this is right, I went, I know this is the place, this is the way we have to go to reach to that house, because you have frequently have gone, so you know it, you strongly tell. The other fellow didn't know, he is tentative, this is let us try it. So the Purvapakshi is tentative. He says Karya Karan Roop mein the Brahman has become. Therefore, there is no Nirguna Brahma. So we cannot do his Upasana. Even if it is Upasana, it is only Karana Brahma Upasana. We get Karana Brahma which is full of the Jagat. When there is Jagat is there, Prapancha is there. How can there be Nishkruti or Moksha? Therefore, there is no Moksha. Therefore, let us not do the sadhana. Let us not attend the classes. Let us continue living our life of Artha Kama. That is what they think. But Yahaya Kete Nene. Paramam Brahma is there and he is Utkrishtam. Sorry, yeah, he is not Utkrishtam, it is Udgitam, sorry. He is Udgitam, he is talked about so much. And therefore, yo yam yatha yatha upasetam bhavati. So you do your Nikrishta Brahma Upasana of the Karya Karana, you get lost in it. It is your job. ऐसा निकृष्ट ब्रह्म है कार्य कारण ब्रह्म. I will do the upasana of the Utkrishta Brahma. And the phala is moksha. Moksha bhavati eva. Moksha means freedom from all limitations and finitudes. Freedom from all persecutions of desha kala vastu parichinnatas. Freedom from all janma jara roga mrityu adi dukha. Moksha from the upadhis, and the upadhis में ही samsara होता है. Moksha from therefore all samsara. That is called as moksha. No more limitation, no more persecution. देखो सत है तो असत का कोई परसिक्यूशन नहीं है. चित है देखो जड़ का कोई समस्या नहीं. अनंत है देखो शांत का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आनंद है देखो दुख का समस्या नहीं. दैट्स कॉल्ड मोक्ष. दैट आई एक्सपीरियंस इट. दैट इज द स्वरूप ऑफ अवर ऑल अवर आत्मा. सबका आत्मा का वही स्वरूप है, स्वभाव है. So with this first line Udgita Metat Paramam tu Brahma is answered. Okay. Second now. तस्मिन् त्रयम सुप्रतिष्ठाक्षरंच वो बताना है. उसके लिए our Nanu Maharaj comes and puts a question. Pura Bhakshi. So what is thought? First let me explain that in our layman's language. Then we study with the Bhashyam. He says, when by the Gurus, the Brahma, Udrutya and Geetam, Upadishtam. So Brahman is separated from Karana Karya Jagat and his glory is told. Okay. So when the Brahman is separated, then it is other than this. Karana Brahma, Jagat, yeah. Therefore, the Jagat also is separate from the Brahman. Therefore, the Jagat is existing. Jagat is existing. Therefore, through the quotations like Vacharambanam Mikaro Namadeyam, quotation like that, proving the mithyatva of this Namarupa and saying Brahman alone is real is not correct. Because Jagat is separately existing. Because the Jagat से separate करके ब्रह्म को बताया. Brahman is told by Udrutya. Therefore, when the Brahman is separate from it, that other also separate from Brahman. Like you are separating from me, then I also separate from you. So separately it is existing like the Sankhya Vadins. Therefore, your Vedanta Vakya of understanding this Rupanama Jagat as Mithya is invalid because you said Brahman is separately separated and spoken. That I agree. When it is separated, the Jagat is existing then, apart from the Brahman. Therefore, your Upadesha of the moksha by the Ekamiva Dev Brahma Anubhuti, by rejecting all the Rupanama with the logics like that of the Upanishadic mantra of Vasarambana Vikara Namadhyam, it is not valid. This is what is saying. Then, to that the answer is second line. The beautiful way what Bhagavan Adi Shankara gives Bhashya, so fantastic it is. What he says, the Brahman is always independent and separate of everything. But what you are talking about, the Karana Brahma, it cannot have separate independent existence from the Brahman. See, when you have separated the gold from the ornaments, it doesn't mean that the ornaments can exist separately from the gold. क्योंकि आपने गोल्ड को अलग भर दिया ना, in that there is no ornamentation करके, तो you have separately talked about the gold. ठीक है, वो कर लो, हम अपने ornament के बारे में बोलेंगे. अरे gold is independent of ornaments, not the ornaments. They can't be existing without the gold. That is the meaning of Tasmin Trayam. So the Brahman is without the Drashta, Drushya, Darshana. Brahman is without the Triputi. But the Triputi cannot be without him. He is the Adhisthana of them. They are depending on him only. Therefore, they can never be independently there like the Sankhyans, etc. talk. Therefore, what we said, Vacharambana Mikaro Namadhyam is perfectly valid. That what is existing always is the mud. To that mud only you gave a name called as pot. And that name alone is the Vikara. Otherwise, there is nothing called as pot at all other than the mud at any period of the time. Avikari, mud alone is there all the time. Avikari, mud, the substratum alone is as there. The vikara on that mud, the substratum is your own name given by you. You called it as pot. Other than name the pot, where is something called as pot? At any corner of that item other than the mud. मिट्टी के अलावा उस घड़े में कहीं भी देखो तो एक घड़ा नामक चीज किधर है अपने आप नहीं है. So therefore, did the mud become something else? No. So therefore, did mud go through vikara? No. But still, you are talking as mud and pot. So it's only in your talking. That's what we are saying. That vikara is only vani, only your word, your name given by you. Otherwise, substratum is always mud only. Before it is made into pot, as it is made into mud, you are using it as a pot for many years. One day it is broken. When it is broken, it is in the form of shells, it is in the form of small shells, it is in the form of the dust particles if it is powdered. कुछ भी form हो, कुछ भी नाम हो, but that is always substratum only. The mud. The mudness has never gone away from it. So what we said stands. This is how the question and answer of this second point. What is that? Tasmin Strayam and that is Pratishta of all these three, and yet he from his side Akshara. Remember, the Triputi is in Paramatma. Triputi is having Pratishta in Paramatma. This is the Drushti from the Triputi standpoint. Because of this Triputi, to the Paramatma, no change happened. He is always there, as he is, never changeable, never modifiable, never decayable, never perishable. That never changeable, modifiable, never decayable, never perishable thing is called Aksharam. Now, did the gold change in any way when you are making it to ornaments, etc.? No. वो अक्षर है, अपने तरह से अक्षर है. So all ornaments are in the gold. So gold is the pratishtha for all ornaments. Yet gold is akshara. That is there for you to identify with it. Then you are mukta. Mukta from what? Your own self-imposed ornamentation, where there is nothing but rupa nama artha. The rupa can be stula, sukshma, karana, veshti, samashti. Doesn't matter. Like once it's a projected movie, in that movie a small stone can be there, a big mountain can be there. A glass of water can be there, an oceanic water can be there. A animal can be there, the human being can be there, the bird can be there. All of that is projected only. Like in dream, the living beings are there, non-living things are there, slumber, stupor is there, activity is there, wisdom is there. All of that is projected only, no? ड्रीम में ड्रीम में आप इंटरव्यू में गए तो आपको सवाल पूछे, एक एक सवाल का आपने मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया. That also is a dream. When he selected you and gave the job. This is how, this is the thing. So let us study the same thing with Bhashya. Very sweet. बड़ा लाइन है इसलिए मैंने पहले समझा दी. ननु एवं तरहि, एवं तरहि, this will be the thing now. If that is the case, this is the point I want to say. Guru Pakshi saying, what do you want to say? Brahmana prapancha asamsrushtatve. Brahmana prapancha asamsrushtatve. When the Brahman is not samsrushta, touched by the Parvanja from the Brahman side. यहाँ से भी उतना ही ट्रू है. असंसृष्ट में प्रपंचस्य अपि ब्रह्म असंसर्गात. ऑफ द प्रपंच आल्सो देयर इज नो संसर्ग विद द ब्रह्मन. दोनों का तलाक हो गया. Therefore सांख्यवादः इव, just like the Sankhyawadins, प्रपंचस्य अपि, प्रपंच का of the world पृथक सिद्धत्वेन, that it is siddha, that it is existing. Because the Brahman is asamsparsha by the Jagat. Jagat also is asamsparsha by the Brahman. Brahman is in its own way. The Jagat is separately is there. This is what Sankhyawadins they say. Jagat means the Prakriti, and Prakriti ka Vikriti is Jagat. So therefore, because of iva prapanchasyapi pruthak siddhatvena swatantratvat, therefore the prapancha is swatantra. It is existing independently. Swatantratvat, what you Vedantins talk about. What is that? Vacha arambanam vikaraha namadeyam. The vikara starts only by the Vani. And the Vani in what way brings the vikara in the substratum? Namadeyam, only by giving the name. Other than name, there is no vikara of the substratum. Vikara नाम के वास्ते है, हकीकत में नहीं है. What you say, O Vedantin, and by saying this, what do you explain? कि वाचारम्भणं विकारं नामधेयम् इति. What do you do? Paratantrayat. The entire world is Paratantra. Paratantra is depending on the Paramatma. Paratantrayat abhyupagamena, with this understanding that the Jagat is not independent, it is dependent on Paramatma. ऐसा कह के मिथ्यात्वोपदेश पूर्वकम, you reject this world as it is mithya, because anything which cannot depend on itself, which needs something else to depend on, it is mithya. So in this way, this Jagat depending on the Paramatma, has no independent existence, which has no independent existence is mithya. ऐसा मिथ्या इस जगत को कहकर मिथ्या पारतंत्र अभ्युपगमेन मिथ्यात्वोपदेश पूर्वकम you reject this jagat and what you talk about advitiya brahma atmatvena. You talk about the advitiya brahma, you say that advitiya brahma alone is atma. In this way upadesha which you give anupannaha anupapannaha iti ashanka. It is not possible at all because the Jagat is existing, separate, independent. This may be a doubt. Keeping this doubt of the Purvapakshi in the mind, the Rishi Shruti Mata said that second line, Tasmin Trayam Supratishta Aksharam. All the three words are very precious and powerful. All the three of this Prapancha Vyavahara Samsara are in that Brahman only rooted. Brahman is Pratishta of them, and yet he is not perishable or changeable, is Akshar. इस सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप का कोई कमी पेशी नहीं हुआ. It is as it is all the time. This will be the answer given, and now the answer will be explaining through Bhashyam. The question is clear. The Brahman is explained by separating it from the Jagat. The Jagat also separate from the Brahman. Therefore, Jagat is Swatantra, like the Sankhyan say. Therefore, what you say that Vasaramana Vikaro Namadeyam, the name and form depend on Paramatma independently, they don't exist. Because they are not independent, therefore this mithya. By saying mithya, you reject it. Then when the Nama Rupa which is projected mithya is rejected, what remains is Aditya Brahma, and that alone is Atman. In this way, you realize and get moksha. What you say, O Vedantin, that is not valid. Because Prapancha is existing separately. Because Prapancha से ब्रह्म को अलग करके उपदेश दिया, you only said उत्कृष्ट उद्धृत्य गीतम करके. Now, to this, the answer, as I already explained to you in the Bhashyam, those two words are beautiful. And I tell you the coincidence. I never imagined or thought it that way. What exactly we saw in our common sense thought is same here. It's a really a ताजुब की बात है कि कैसा coincide हुआ. Didn't we say? It is the Shabda Sparsa Rupa Sangandha which depend on the Indriyas, not the vice versa. So it is the Indriyas which depend on the mind, not the mind depend on them. It is the self on which the mind depends. It is not that the self is dependent on the mind. वही हमने अभी देखा कॉमन सेंस थॉट. वही क्वेश्चन है, वही आंसर. इसका अर्थ क्या है? उपनिषद हमारे अंदर थोड़ा थोड़ा काम कर रहा है. Answer to this question of the Nanu is this. That is what in the main mantra Tasmin Trayam Supratishta Aksharam. This is the answer to that probable question. So why Tasmin Trayam Supratishta Aksharam? Second line the Shruti Mata had to say. Because after the first line is said Udgita Metat Paramam tu Brahma, Parabrahma को अलग करके बोला, तो there is a Jagat existing separate, independent. Like this, the Sankhya Yogavadins की तरह मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो सकता है. उसको अवॉइड करने के लिए द ऋषि सेड तस्मिन् त्रयम सुप्रतिष्ठा एंड अक्षरम. So why the Tasmin Trayam Supratishtha Aksharam? That why is answered by the Shankara Bhagavan in the Bhashya, because there is a question, there is a probability of this question. So to answer that question, it is said. And what is the answer? Ki Tasmin Trayam iti. In that alone, these three. That second line we are explaining. You know, in this Shwethashwathara Upanishad, many of the shlokas, Bhashya karne ke pehle, which sentence or which shloka he is doing Bhashya, he just quotes it to bring our attention to. Udgita metad iti karke, he explained that. Now the second line, Tasmin is Trayam iti. Now listen the explanation. What is it? Yadyapi, now what's what I said? Yadyapi Brahma prapancha samsprishtam swatantram cha. Even though the Brahman is untouched by the prapancha, therefore he is swatantra, independent from the Brahman standpoint. Same is not true from the other side. Tathapi, even then, prapancha na swatantraha. This is the highest maturity of understanding. That's what we said. The outer world, the Indriyas and Mana, the pure self in us is not touched by them, but they cannot exist without the Atman. यद्यपि ब्रह्मणः प्रपञ्चस्य असंस्पृष्टत्वं therefore स्वतन्त्रः तथापि प्रपञ्चः न स्वतन्त्रः. The whole prapancha of Triputi, Drashta, Darshanam, Drishyam, or Drashta, Drishyam, Ishvara, they are not independent, they are not Swatantra. Actually, it was discussed in the first shloka only. है ना, ब्रह्मवादिनो वदन्ति किम कारणम ब्रह्म, and while that saying that, or in the second mantra में, while the Maya being explained, it is said to be not Swatantra, it is the Brahma Tantra or Paramatma Tantra. Tantra means dependent. So Tantra means depending on oneself. Para Tantra means depending on other. Like we got Swatantra Bharata Mata. So we depend on other ourselves, not on the Britishers as it was. Earlier we were in Paratantra. So the Brahman is Swatantra, please remember, not the Prapanch. Prapancha cannot be without Brahman. So, Yadyapi Brahma Prapancha Asamsprushtam Swatantram cha Tatapi Prapancha Na Swatantraha. This is the crucial thought today, homework to you. Catch it. And add to this our common sense thought. Now start ruling the world by not getting a slave to the world. Not becoming slave. I have to command you, not that you command. I command you that capacity, even if it has not come to me. To begin with, I am no more commanded by you. धीरे धीरे स्वतंत्रता को पाना, साधना का एक अंग है वो. Yogis do that. The Vedantis, they kick away the world and they realize the Brahman. The yogis hold the world and mold it to themselves, to their convenience. That's why the yogis have the siddhis, not the Vedantis. Vedanta is only one siddhi, Aham Brahmasmi. Other than Brahma, there is no Prakriti, there is no molding of Prakriti, there is no need to master the Prakriti, there is no need to express any siddhis, there is nothing at all achieved by that. फाइनली कुछ फायदा ही नहीं. इतना भी करके, लाइक इतना मेहनत करके लाखों रुपए खर्च करके ये पेशेंट को ठीक कर दिया, डॉक्टर और फैमिली मेंबर्स बन के 50 लाख खर्च, ठीक होकर कर क्या रहा है वो? वही दारू पी रहा है, वही खा रहा है, वही सो रहा है. व्हाट इज द फायदा ऑफ दैट? दैट डजंट मीन दैट वी शुड नॉट सेव हिम. द आइडिया इज he is not doing a great seva to the world. That so to you may get all the siddhis, but what are you doing, oh my dear yogi? You are still bound by them only. Therefore, we are not interested in it. That's why the Vedanti goes in his own path. But the yogis say, nahi, we'll master the Prakriti, we do this and we do that. 10% of them really master the Prakriti and serve the world. 90% get caught up in that. सिद्धियों से फंस जाते हैं. बिकॉज सिद्धियां दर्शाने लोग नमस्कार चमत्कार कर रहे हैं, फिर मजा आ रहा है. All that. Anyway, come to this point. Yadyapi Brahma Prapancha Samsprishtam Swatantrancha Tatapi Prapancha Na Swatantraha. So Brahman is Swatantra, Prapancha is not Swatantra. Catch it. Apitu, and also Tasmin Eva Brahmani. In that Brahman alone, Tasmin Eva Brahmani, in that Brahman alone, Trayam Pratishtitam. These three are Pratishtita, rooted, supported by. Without that Brahman, these three do not exist. And what are these three? Bhokta, the Jiva, Bhogyam, the Jagat, Pranitaram, the Ishvara. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all the three are Pratishtita, rooted, established in the Brahman only. Iti, in this way, Vakshamanam, आगे हम बहुत श्लोकों में बताएंगे. इसी उपनिषद में श्रुति माता will tell. Iti Vakshamanam, है ना? What did he said? Bhogya Bhoktru Niyantru Lakshanam. Both the Bhogya, the world, Bhoktru, the enjoyer, the Niyanta, the Ishvara, all these three are rooted in Parabrahman only. It will be told in the subsequent shlokas. One of the shlokas is that Ajahyeka Bhoktru Bhogya Artha Yukta Iti Vakshamanam. In this very Upanishad it will be told. Ajahi Eka. Aja is Parabrahman. That alone is Bhoktu Bhogya Artha Yukta. It alone is appearing like Bhokta and Bhogya. Iti Vakshamanam. Then comes a Bhoktru Bhogyartha Rupam cha Anyat Vedam Shruti Siddham. So in this way, in this Upanishad, Bhoktu Bhogya Rup mein one Brahman alone is expressing. This Bhoktu Bhogya is rooted in Brahman, it is said. And in other textbooks, what he said, ki Anyad Vedam means in the other quotations, Shruti Siddham. In Anyad Shruti, different Shruti, what he said, ki Virat Sutratma Bhyam Krutam. That whole world which is affected from the Virat and Sutratma. From the Virat, the Stula world comes. From the Sutratma, the Sukshma comes. So Virat Sutratma Bhyam Krutam. Whatever Nama, Rupa, Karma, Nama and Rupa and Karma. Nama Rupa happen because of the Virat, Karma happens because of Sutratma. That is one triputty. So how many things said so far? First thing said is Bhokta, Bhogya, Niyantru. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishwar. All these, Tasmin Trayam means these three. The same Trayam is another phrase, Bhokta, Bhogya, आगे हम बताएंगे अजाहेका करके. In the other Upanishad, what is said? From the Virat and Taijasa, the world which has come out, one set of the three which have come out is Nama Rupa Karma. Another set of the three which have come are Vishwatayesa Prajna, individualities. The other three times, the three are Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, Swarupa, Rupam. So the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Rupa avasthas, and in that the individuality is called as Vishwatayesa Prajna Trayam. Also the Bhokta, Bhogya and Prerita. अगर आप त्रय को भोक्ता भोग्य प्रेरिता का हो ठीक है, जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति का हो ठीक है, विश्वदेश प्राज्ञ का हो ठीक है. All these three are rooted in that one Brahman. That is main point you want to catch. See, Vishwatayesa Prajna, Jagra Sapna Sushupti, Rupa Swarupam, Pratishtitam is established. And the beautiful example, how exhaustively we studied it in Mandukya Upanishad, Rajvam Iva Sarpaha. Like on the Rajju, the Sarpa, and the Jaladhara, and also Bhu Chidra, or the Dandar Pushpamala. So many things are supported by the Rajju, the original reality. Two things remember. Without the substratum, the superimposed can never be projected. Same thing is on the substratum only superimposed depends. Rooted for its projection time. Because without substratum, projection is not possible. कोई ना कोई अधिष्ठान होना है ना, उन्हीं के ऊपर आरोपण होता है. That is the first point. Same thing is said in another as what? Therefore, for all the substratum, all the superimposed, the substratum is the support. Without substratum, superimposition cannot be there. Therefore, all that superimposed is supported by the substratum. That is the meaning of Tasmin Trayam Supratishta. Tasmin Trayam is these three are in that rooted only. Supratishta is therefore that is the Pratishta substratum support for these three. Tasmin Trayam यहाँ से कह रहे ये तीनों उन्हीं में है. सुप्रतिष्ठा मीन्स वो इन तीनों के प्रतिष्ठा आधार अधिष्ठान. From both sides, you have to understand to avoid any doubts or alternatives. Tasmin Trayam and Supratishta. These three are in that Brahman rooted. Therefore, Brahman is Pratishta of these three. So, the outer Jagat, Indriyas and Mana are dependent or rooted in the Atman. Therefore, the Atman is a support, the root or the substratum or Pratishta for all this. इस तरह. तो अगेन आई विल टेल यू कि भोग्य भोक्तृ नियंतृ लक्षणम. त्रय मीन्स भोग्य भोक्तृ नियंतृ. नियंता इज ईश्वर. अजाहेका भोक्तृ भोग्यार्थ युक्ता इति वक्ष्यमाणम. भोक्तृ भोग्यार्थ रूपम च अन्यत् वेदम श्रुति सिद्धम विराट सूत्राभ्याम कृतम. विराट सूत्रात्मा से बना हुआ. व्हाट आर दे? नाम रूप कर्म, विश्वदेश प्राज्ञ, जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति, रूप स्वरूपम, प्रतिष्ठितम. All of that is pratishthitam on that Brahman, Rajvamiva Sarpaha. Now continuation. Yataha, because of this reason. Which reason? Etasmin. Etasmin means in this Brahman. Sarvam, everything. Which is that everything? Bhoktradi Lakshanam. Bhoktra, Bhojya and Prerita. All these three. Prapancha Rupam. The entire world. Pratishtitam is supported. Therefore, Atha Eva. Because of this reason, asya, of this Paramatman, bhoktradi trayatmakasya prapanchasya brahma supratishta shobhana pratishta. Because they are depending on him, therefore he is the most beautiful pratishta, support for these three things. यतः एतस्मिन् सर्वं भोक्त्रादि लक्षणं प्रपंच रूपं प्रतिष्ठितम् अतः एव अस्य भोक्त्रादि त्रयात्मकस्य प्रपंचस्य ब्रह्म सुप्रतिष्ठा शोभन प्रतिष्ठा. So tasmin srayam, then supratishta. Same thing, but told two times to become very clear. All these three are coming from him only. Therefore, he is the pratishtha of them. Tasmin trayam supratishta. So brahmana anyasya chalanamatmakatvad chala pratishtha anyatra brahmana achalatvad achala pratishtha. See, this has come again in Mandukya Upanishad, very sublime. The Brahman is achala pratishtha. He is always the same, he never changes. And this Rupanamatmaka or Bhokta, Bhogya and Prerita, that is a Chala Pratishta. Means they are keeping on changing, but their substratum is Parabrahman only, wherever they are. Brahman is what? He is Sachidananda, he is Achala Pratishta. In this Gita, second chapter, में Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtam Samudram Apaha Pravishanti. Samudra is Achala Pratishta. It is one place only, but its substratum is water. For the river also, the water alone is substratum, but it is chala pratishta, जहाँ से शुरू करते हो भागती भागती रहती है till it merges in the ocean. Therefore, भोक्ता भोग्य प्रेरिता are chala pratishta, Parabrahman is achala pratishta. And tasmin trayam and pratishta. This is explained. Now the next one is aksharam. For this also the Nanu asks a question. Therefore, this Brahman is expressing as these three things. Therefore, it is no more remaining as it is modifying. उसको आंसर देते नो 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 इट इज अक्षरम ननु एवं तर्हि विकारभूत प्रपंचाश्रयत्वेन परिणामित्वात् दध्यादिवत् अनित्यं स्यादिति आशंक्य आह अक्षरञ्च इति यद्यपि विकारः प्रपंचाश्रयः तथापि अक्षरं न क्षरति इति अक्षरं च शब्दः उदाहरणार्थ. Even though the vikara yukta, these three are depending on the Brahman, Brahman doesn't go through any vikara, he is the Akshara. This is the beautiful. First, intellectually, you have to grasp all details. Only then our outer inner sadhanas are meaningful and our meditation will be purposeful and fruitful. Siddhanta Gyan spasht nahi hai. So we may do sadhana at the upadhi level of quietening the mind, again to disturb it when we come out, doing the upasana and divinizing the mind and making it devilish again when it comes out. These things we may do, but we will never do the correct thing. If the Siddhanta Jnana is not authentic, spashta, authentic authority is Adi Shankara Bhashya Yukta Upanishad Adhyayana. With that Siddhanta, we will now go into the deep meditation. कोई भी डाउट रह गया तो फिर हम फंस जाते हैं कहीं ना कहीं. That's why this mantra is very pregnant. Udgitam paramam tu brahma tasmin trayam supradishta. After this we have seen. Aksharam we have to explain tomorrow. Then atra antaram viditva yoni muktaha tatparaha. अत्रांतरम ब्रह्म विदो विदित्वा लीना ब्रह्मणि तत्परा योनि मुक्ताः. दैट वी हैव टू स्टडी. एक कल शायद हो सकता होगा, बट देयर सम ब्यूटीफुल कोटेशंस फ्रॉम पुराण, उसको भी ले लेने से शायद 2 दिन लग सकता होगा. सो इन 1 or 2 days व्हेन दिस मंत्र इज डन, देन जीव ईश्वर के बारे में बताते हुए lots of again quotes are taken to guide us by Adi Shankara Bhagwan. Very good, beautiful. प्रेम होना है शास्त्र पढ़ने का, श्रद्धा होना है, माइंड इंटेलेक्ट मैनेज करके कंसंट्रेशन से सुनना है. then the knowledge will come, it will give such a joy, because knowledge always gives joy. when the knowledge is used, एकदम फटाफट सारे समस्याएं संसार के दूर होते रहते. not only that, the final moksha sthiti of Atmanubhuti we go near to. So realizing this whole thing, let us revel more and more in our Adhyatmika Jivana of Shastra Shravana, Shastra Adhyana, Shastra Chintana, Shastrokta Atma Dhyana, Atma Prapti Moksha. Anything else is secondary for us. Nobody can tell us that it has to come from within. Till that happens, one thing we can do as Purushartha is being regular in our Shastra Shravana and Adhyayana. यही यहाँ गुरु परंपरा होती है ना क्लास में, वो धीरे धीरे हमारे माइंड को और रिक्वायर्ड ऑपरेशन कर सकती है. अगर आप आओगे ही नहीं है तो वो ऑपरेशन होगा नहीं, परेशानियां रहेंगी. थैंक यू. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परमशिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. ओम तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. थैंक यू. Join in 5 minutes for Gita. Gita.